Hi everyone, Miss Moxley here with your recording for today, Monday. I've got the agenda up here on the screen for this week, November 26th through 30th. Today, the lesson that you need to complete is the movement of the earth, and then you need to take that corresponding quiz. That's actually what we're going to go over today. Tuesday, you have seasons, lesson and quiz. Wednesday, we'll have our live session, and then you'll complete the sun lesson and quiz. Thursday, you'll have your scrimmage. That is or consists of 4 multiple choice questions and 2 extended response. Remember, those 2 extended response are 4 points apiece. The multiple choice are only a single point apiece. So you want to really make sure that you're trying on those extended response questions because they are worth more in terms of points. And then Friday, you have the planets lesson and quiz and your notebook check. So what I want to talk about today, like I said, is the movement of the earth lesson. So our objectives are to understand how the earth is moving celestially in 4 different ways simultaneously and be able to describe the different movements of the earth in relation to the solar system, the Milky Way galaxy, and the local group of galaxies. So by the end of the lesson, you should be able to do those 2 things on your own. And then your vocabulary terms, of course, make sure that you've got these in your notes, that you've got them defined, and if you can give an example, be sure that you're giving an example. All right, so I'm going to, going to flip over to the whiteboard here. We're talking about movement of the earth. And when we're talking about the movement of the earth, the objective stated that we needed to be sure that we could discuss or define the 4 movements of earth. Okay, and those 4 movements are rotation, orbit, galactic, and intergalactic. Okay, so let's jump back up here to rotation and talk about rotation. Rotation deals with the tilt of the earth on its axis. Oops. Okay, and this tilt is at 23.5 degrees. And this tilt, this rotation, is what causes day and night. So this rotation around the sun helps us or gives us day and night, all right? The tilt deals with our seasons, specifically with our seasons. And we'll talk a little bit about that here when we're talking about our orbit. So orbit, this is our annual rotation of the earth. So this is the annual rotation of the earth around the sun. This rotation also deals with seasons. But know that the main reason for seasons is Earth's tilt. Oops, I just noticed I had a typo in rotation here. So orbit, we have the annual rotation of the earth around the sun. This helps with seasons, but know that seasons are directly impacted by the tilt, by Earth's tilt. So we have some time difference there. We have 24 hours and then we have 365 days. So let's just jump back and add those. And I want you to be sure that you can distinguish the different times. I actually have the activity that I want to go over with you guys from the lesson, because I think that's a great way in terms of making sure that you're not confused about those time differences. So galactic, when we're talking about the galactic movement, we're talking about the movement of the solar system. So the Earth is moving within the solar system itself is moving. And then intergalactic, we have movement with the Milky Way. So those are the four main movements of Earth, all right? We've already talked about seasons and how that they are or deal with the Earth's tilt at 23.5 degrees. I want to talk about that a little bit further. So for seasons, if we're talking about summer, Earth is tilted towards the sun, or that part of the Earth is tilted towards the sun. If we're talking about winter, that portion of the Earth is tilted away from the sun. All right. Now, Earth's orbit. Be sure, and I know that we've talked about this in the past, but be sure that you understand that Earth's orbit to that annual rotation is not in a perfect circle. It's actually in an elliptical shape. So it's more of an oval. More of an oval shape, a tilted oval shape. All right. Two vocabulary terms that are discussed within the lesson are perigee and apogee. All right. When we're talking about perigee, we're talking about the part of Earth that is closest to the sun, or we're talking about the perihelion. Okay. Helion meaning relating to the sun. So when we're talking about these terms, we're talking about when Earth is closest to the sun. And when we're talking about apogee or aphelion, we are talking about when Earth is farthest from the sun. All right, so be sure that you can distinguish between those two terms. All right. What I want to do real quickly is, because I know it was super confusing, I want to quickly jump to page 6 on the lesson. And I want to just click through those matching options with you guys. If you don't already have those in your notes, be sure that you have those in your notes. One, it's a great practice in terms of seeing or assessing if you understood the lesson correctly, but also if you didn't understand the lesson correctly, or if you had some confusion, this clarifies your confusion and you should have this in the notes. So when we're talking about 24 hours, we are talking about Earth's rotation on its axis. All right, let's see. Time it takes the Earth to rotate on its axis when we're talking about 24 hours, right? 370 miles per second. What we're talking about here is the speed of the galaxy through intergalactic space. 250 million Earth years. We're talking about one cosmic year. 150, aphelion. Right? When we're talking about aphelion, we're talking about when Earth is farthest from the sun. Perihelion, when the Earth is closest to the sun. 365 days, one Earth year. Local group, we're talking about a group of galaxies the Milky Way belongs to. 150 miles per second, we're talking about the speed that the sun orbits the through the galaxy or in the galaxy. The speed the sun orbits the galaxy. And then 18.5 miles per second. We're talking about the speed Earth orbits the sun. All right. So if you don't have those in your notes, be sure that you have those items in your notes. You literally can jot down 24 hours and then dash and then jot down the description. So for 24 hours, that description was the time it takes the Earth to rotate on its axis one time. Be sure that you have these items in your notes, okay? Again, it's just a great means, one, of practice, but two, to assess what you understood from the lesson, and three, to clarify any confusion that you may have had. All right, guys, so that is it for today. Be sure that you get the lesson and the quiz completed. We will meet Wednesday for our live session, and Thursday you have a scrimmage. Friday you have your notebook check, so make sure that you're taking your notes every day. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys on Wednesday.